a new patch just in time for the July 4th weekend that actually has some good stuff in it. Imagine getting a patch out on time. Crazy. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and I'm here to give you the patch notes. They're not long, but they are meaningful. They backtrack on a couple things that were introduced in the previous patch that I think everybody can enjoy, while also fixing some pain points with the rank system. But that is not all. So let's go ahead and check out these patch notes, and we'll scroll down here, and the first thing that we'll see is that they introduced the new weekend event called Fan Challenges Ranked Tour. And this event officially launched on July 3rd, featuring a bunch of different rank protection cards to safeguard your rank points, which if you don't know, that is these right here. And what they do is you don't really have the option to use them or not. You just basically go into a ranked game, and if you have them and you lose, you don't lose any rank points at all. Now, there's been a lot of commotion about these, considering that the actual ranked points are still in play. And I haven't gotten to master rank yet, but if anybody has, let me know down in the comments. If you lose a game in master rank or higher, supposedly the rank protection points no longer work at that level. But what about these rank protection cards? Ranked protection points were one of the huge things that everybody was complaining about last season and last chapter, saying that they made the game too easy to hit the highest rank. And that caused a lot of people to just straight up come out and say, remove all rank protection points from the game. Now, that might be going a little too far, and admittedly, I do the same thing when it comes to snipers. I die a fuck ton to snipers, like every day, probably 10 plus times, and I only play maybe 4 or 5 ranked games. I die so many times to snipers, and I crash out sometimes and say, just get them out of the game, remove hollow point from the game. But I don't necessarily mean it. I just mean that they need some kind of an adjustment to be better suited for a game like this. And the same goes for rank protection points. I don't think a lot of those people really mean to remove them entirely from the game, because a lot of them I feel like are just parroting what other people are saying that they hear say, like bigger streamers or other content creators that don't want these rank protection points. Well, I'm on the other side of the fence. I think the rank protection points are a good asset to have in a game like this, especially when it comes to player retention. I can't count the number of times that I've just straight up stopped playing Apex for a week because I lost like 4 games in a row. And it's not because I lost that many games in a row. It's because of how much RP I actually dropped. You just go on losing streaks. It's natural. And to have some sort of forgiveness is nice to have. Now, the problem is that you can sort of abuse the rank protection system in a way that makes it easier for certain people to get to the top ranks. So that's why I said they need to be adjusted. We need to reduce the amount of rank protection points that you can hoard. We need to reduce the amount of protection points that you can earn, which they actually did this season by dropping it from a daily thing to a weekly thing. And it wasn't really rank protection points that they were fixing with that. It was more extra points that people were able to get. But moving on from that, we all know rank protection points and now rank protection cards are a hot topic. I think they just need some tweaking. But also in this event, you'll get 2 Ultra Cans, 3 basic sticker packs, 3 Rising Tempest sticker packs, 1 basic decoration pack, and this really cool horse headgear called Horsing Around. But moving on down, we'll see some more patch notes here. And here is the big one, Ranked Shard Clutch. To ensure a better matchmaking experience for solo and duo players, that includes myself, and to improve matchmaking speed, which everybody wants, if there's a player in a party of 3 with a Punkmaster rank, that party will not be able to queue together. Meaning, if you have a party of 3 people and any one of you is Punkmaster, you can't queue together, which just boils down to, if you're in Punkmaster, you can no longer trio queue. You can only solo or duo, because we already had restrictions on 5 stacking and 4 stacking in Punkmaster rank. And my take on this is, I get why games do it, but ultimately it doesn't really solve the problem. In a game like this, the player count is potentially just small enough to where you could duo queue with 2 people and one of them could solo queue, and you guys could end up in the same game on the same team anyway. Now, it's not always guaranteed, like if you were to just queue up together, but it is still possible. And with all the extra things that people do to go around to hoard these rank protection points, you best believe that they're going to try to get any advantage that they can. But this is a small step in the right direction when it comes to solo and duo players, because as a solo and potentially a duo player, when I do get one other person, I don't want to go up against a 3-stack of Punk Masters. I just don't. Their level of coordination is just on a whole other level, and it easily shows throughout the match, and it puts us on an unlevel playing field. And not to say that I may not be as good as that Punk Master individually, because I very well could be, but the coordination in a tac shooter like this is everything. I am a firm believer that everybody should get to play with whoever they want to, and limiting a ranked experience from people wanting to play with their friends that they've been able to play with all the way from the start of this game, and now they just can't do it. I don't like it, but I get why it's necessary. Then we move down to shard cards. We have one change here, and that is the get one shard card is increased from 3 shard point cost to 4, and that's just the card that allows you to get a random card. With the highest shard cards now costing 6 shard points instead of 5, this change does make sense. They also adjusted the boom broom in the outbreak mode and increased the mag size to 11 and 330 in the reserve. And then they adjusted the sniper rifle ADS movement speed of the resolver from 1.54 down to 1.12. And if you remember, the previous patch just did almost the opposite, where it increased it from 1.08 to 1.54. So after all is said and done, the ADS movement speed of the resolver went from 1.08 to 1.12. Almost a negligible increase, but still a buff to a sniper rifle that I'm not really sure who was asking for. It almost feels like there's one developer on the team who just really likes to use snipers and refuses to nerf them at all. And somebody else caught on to this change that they made and said, oh, well, we can't do that. But of course, I am joking. I don't actually think that's true, but who knows? All I know is that a majority of people that I talk to, even people who use snipers, know that they're broken and know that they're in a place where it's just the meta right now. And that actually opens up to something else I want to talk about as soon as we finish these patch notes. They also adjusted melee weapon for the Breacher, which is the new melee weapon, the sledgehammer looking thing. And they changed the backstab damage to 170 to match the actual game effect. They adjusted Dex's skill cloning incarnation, where his firearm damage dealt by Dex in his clone state is reduced by 15%, which means as Dex's clone, all your bullets are just reduced by 15%. That is a major nerf to a character that just got nerfed like 4 days ago. The last thing on here, they adjusted Chum's skill Chomper and increased the maximum uses of Chomper from 1 to 2, because that's just exactly what we all needed, was another Chomper running around. Now we scroll down to some bug fixes, and they fixed an issue where the background of the extreme melee weapon Natural Touch displayed abnormally in the arsenal at certain screen resolutions. They fixed an issue in Outbreak mode where Dex's skill cloning incarnation did not take effect properly under certain conditions. Fixed an issue in the arsenal where the displayed fire rate values for certain firearms were abnormal, and that affected the Bad Moon S, the Cure-All, and the Vicious, and those have now all been fixed. And then they put out this tweet shortly after these patch notes saying that they want our feedback on the weapon economy and links it to this Reddit post. They want our honest thoughts, our honest feedback. And they said, be brutally honest, we're listening. Well, I think the community has made it very clear if I just Control F sniper, where it's mentioned 120 times in this Reddit thread. And every single time, people are saying they want a sniper nerf. Like down here, there's a reason snipers cost almost twice as much as ARs in all tac shooters I have ever played. Or here, where snipers being readily available all game no matter what. If 2 people want to snipe exclusively, they get 2 uses themselves and then can just request from teammates for the rest of the game. Something as powerful as the resolver should not be so accessible. If you pick it and then die, it should have consequences. I would go a step further and say if you pick it, even if you don't die, it should have consequences. Maybe limit the sniper pool to a certain number, let's say 4 for the entire team for the whole side, which means if 4 of you want to snipe in one round, that's it. You get no more snipers for the rest of that side. But a lot of these posts are really well thought out and just have a ton of information. And a lot of people you can see, it's not that they don't want snipers, they just want them to be balanced. And right now, they're just not. Including this person right here, where they said snipers should be limited to 1 use per side and they should be lost even if you stay alive. Snipers are in a weird spot right now where they are ruining ranked play for a lot of people. An alternative is to nerf them so that only headshots at any range kill in one shot, and everything else can be 2 shots regardless of range. I don't know, devs, I think you need to hire this guy. Seems like he knows what he's talking about. But anyway, that about covers the patch notes, and if this doesn't make them nerf snipers, then I don't know what will, because there's a ton of really good ideas in this thread, and if you haven't already, make sure you go to this thread. You can find the link in their Twitter. Go and upvote anything and everything that wants to nerf snipers, if that's truly how you feel. If you think snipers need a buff, I think you need mental rehabilitation, but you're free to go on this Reddit post yourself and make your own post trying to make that case. And I would love to see the comments that post gets, because I think you're just going to get absolutely flamed. But anyway, if you're watching this, I'll probably be live already right now on YouTube and over on Twitch. Link for that down in the description below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.